This is Rod Kusin and Spooman for Risk on September 9th, 2010. It's a Friday. We're live, and we made a couple of errors in our recording earlier today, and consequently the videos that we created earlier today are too long, so we're going to have to recap what's happened in order to get them on YouTube. So very quickly, what we're going to do with our video right now is really go back and recap what we did live through the course of the day, and hopefully we'll finish up here. So what we're doing with this new indicator which is shown on this particular chart, the indicator allows us to predict where the spoos are going to go before it happens, as well as know when to take a trade. Above are the trade signals that are generated by reading the indicator, as well as the, for lack of a better word, the retracement lines as to where the spoos are expected to go. Right now we are expecting some kind of a short back to around 1101.75. Now we're going to discuss the indicator and some of the features of it. Number one, you'll notice that there is a yellow line and a green line. We're going to call these threshold lines. We can't take a short trade unless the bars shown here are below the threshold. We can't take a long trade unless the lows of the bars are above the green line. Secondly is the color of the lines, the color of these bars. Positive colors are white and green. Negative colors are yellow and magenta, and a neutral color is gray. If we're going to take a short trade, we need to be below the threshold line with a negative color and a negative slope on this other indicator. Long trade has to be above the line with a positive color, such as right in here. That would be a positive color, but the low is not above the line. It should be. Let's look at this last move. What do we see happening here? That's a negative color, okay, but it's not below the line. No trade. So we expect the spoos will go back up to 475. Now we had some trades earlier which ultimately got stopped out. Okay. Okay, we have a threshold right there. Let's talk about that. Here's a predictive bar on the indicator here, preceding the move down. So we're expecting a return to this particular price. Now we don't have a short setup here. We do expect a drop here, but we don't see the short just yet. So we're now going to just review very quickly what happened during the course of the day. And this was all done live. Earlier this morning, we were expecting a return in price associated with the red line, based upon what we could see from our indicator. Then here we finally get a setup. Here's the setup bar indicating a return to that price, and the short takes place as we drop below the yellow line with a negative color. A nice drop down to our expected price down here. We have a move up and another setup right here. There's a setup bar there with a nice short, once again, down almost to the threshold line. Now, what happened is that we started seeing evidence of a move back up. So precautions have to be taken to prevent taking a loss. Now we're just going to kind of move through this rather quickly in order to conserve our time. There's another indication, okay, right in here, that the Spoos would move back. They did. So if you wanted to take a long trade, where would you take it? Well, we'd have to be on a positive. We'd have to be above the green line on a positive bar. There might be an option, and here's another option right in here. Move forward. Beautiful short opportunity here. Notice the setup. This bar indicates we should be going back up. This bar indicates we're coming back down. So, as it turns out, we move back up, and we know we're going higher because of this bar. So we're not ready to short this yet, because we're going to go back up to 1105, which we do here, and now we're below the threshold with a negative bar. Nice short, and we don't get another long signal until right in here. We have a setup both here and here. So all we do, follow the indicator, wait for the positive colored bar above the green line, boom, there's your long, and notice what happens. Goes right back to where we expected it. Now we get another setup right here. That line is off a little bit, but there's your setup, and it doesn't move hardly at all before the short trade takes place, way below the threshold line on negative bars, at a new high relative to when the setup took place. Okay, there's a nice long trade. Here's the setup bar. It's coming back. We move down. We go positive right there. There's the long trade. Up we go. Get another setup here. It's not much, but we drop below the line. Right there. There's the the short trade. Down she goes. Down she goes. And now we have a setup where we're expecting a retracement back up, and we don't get any opportunity for the long trade until right here or here. We get some retracements in here. That's exactly what happened. We get a long trade right there. Right in here. There's the green line. Up she goes again. Have we made a mistake yet today? No. Now we have some retracements. We're coming into the period of live trading now, and we start to see evidence of a short trade. But what we don't have is a setup. We have no setup bars taking place here. No setup bars taking place. Nice move down, but it comes right back. And again, we don't have any setup bars along here, but indication is that we ought to short it. It moves down, it makes some money, but what about now? Do we have any setup bars? Now we do. We have a nice setup bar right in here. Finally, is the setup. So we're looking to take a short trade on an equal high or a higher high. That means 475. And we just hit it, but we're not ready yet. Call us, RSKsys.com, Rod Kusanen, Spooman, for risk.